This game contains instances of self-harm, graphic imagery which some may find disturbing. Player, and by extension viewer discretion, is advised. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Exit Mask. I sincerely hope that sound is supposed to be happening and is not because my speaker's broken. Oddly, it's only coming out of one of them, which is rather confusing, but never mind. Apparently this game has a minimalist art style of purely black and white. Chapter 1, Sutures. And I downloaded it ages ago, so I've completely forgotten anything that I may have known about it previously, so this should be an interesting experience. Sounds like a mosquito. The world's most annoying living creature. Besides numerous celebrities that I could name, but I won't, just in case. Use the WAS keys and the mouse to look around. Ooh! I see. I was just looking off into space, waiting for something to happen. I have a gangly tendril. Okay. I move oddly. Hi. Oh, shit. This is disturbing. Why am I looking at people's skulls and spines? And why am I so small? Or why are they so big? Ah, coffin and door. Press E to interact with objects. Well, I mean, if you insist. Am I actually listening to their screams? Oh. Okay. I am very confused. Are these real movies? That's a real movie. I don't know if it's a real poster for it. The scariest movie of all time has returned in a version you've never seen. Oh, I see. It's a different person's take on The Exorcist. Who's that? It seems vaguely familiar. That seems vaguely familiar as well, but I haven't got a clue who it is. What it is, anyway. Wow. Okay, so clearly I am into my gothic and my horror. Which, after the nightmares I had last night, I think we're going to be toning down a little bit in my own life. Okay, I can't really look down much. It's about as far down as I can look. Which is a little strange. Never mind. What's in here? Nothing. I can't interact with this. Oh! This is what I have to do in post to every photograph of myself. That's also a strange place to have the television. Why is this image so important to you that you prioritize it over the television? Shouldn't you put the television on the wall instead? Did you just hear a clap? Okay, I can't seem to open any of these drawers or interact with any of these boxes, so... Danger. Oh, can I read any of this? Burn. No, I can't read any of this. Okay, so there's many dangerous things in here. What's this? A Stanley knife? Scalpel? You have acquired Excalibur. No, I have acquired a scalpel. Left click to slash with Excalibur. Not a sentence I thought I was going to be reading when I woke up this morning. But never mind. Aw, cute little doggies. At least the doggies have got their faces, which, to be honest with you, is the important thing. If either humanity or... What in the... What? Has this broken? Am I supposed to be experiencing the world like this? Because I get the distinct impression that I'm not. What is going... Can I go up? Yes, kind of. What is going on? More photographs of people with no faces. Presumably some sort of kitchen area. What is this? What is this game? I was hoping that when I started to play it, things would get less confusing, but somehow they've gotten more so. Can I still interact with stuff? Yes, I can. I'm just on the floor now. Okay. I am so baffled. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Let me restart the game. Let me restart the game and try again and see whether that is supposed to happen or not, because I get the distinct impression it really isn't. Okay, so here's the spot again. Ah, right. This time everything didn't go absolutely insane. Right, I get the distinct impression. Oh no, not again! What the... Okay, either this game is broken beyond all measure, or this is supposed to be happening, because it's happened twice now. Well, no, it can't be happening, because I'm clipping out of the world. What am I supposed to do? Why are there writhing maggots on the television? Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I have seldom been more confused in my life. I just don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what this perspective is. Or what it's supposed to be telling me. I don't understand any of it. Okay, I'm starting to think that it might possibly be collisions. Collisions with certain objects might possibly... Yes, there we are. I think that's working now. Okay, I think it's collisions with certain objects cause your character to completely break. I think that is the case, because it happened for a moment when I was walking up to the staircase. I kind of bumped into the wall, and everything went wrong for a moment. And that's why it didn't happen at the same point twice. Can I go back? No, okay. Okay, so we have determined that this game is not quite as weird as I thought it was, giving us an absolutely insane camera angle to figure out, though perhaps I was wrong. Okay, so there appears to be some sort of a maze with a number of destitute souls in it, dragging their ball and chains with them. Are these going to be enemies or dangers? Hang on, is that a ball and chain? It's not a ball and chain, it looks more like a vacuum cleaner. What is that under there? You also can't fall off the edge, I have figured out as well. Oh, it's the bottom of a spine. Right-click to commit self-harm. Harming oneself allows you to bypass fumigators. What is a fumigator? What? Okay, I have to hurt myself to bypass these enemies. What is this? Activate all 5 terminals to proceed to the exit. They can be found beneath the pillars of sacrifice. You mean them, don't you? I need to activate all 5 terminals in order to get access to this computer, do I? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. This is extremely disturbing and unpleasant in many, many ways. Okay, I cannot seemingly interact with the cloths if I'm on the wrong side of them. So I suppose I must just keep exploring. I've also... Oh no, they do have arms. I've also noticed they do have the pipe in their mouth, which possibly means they're breathing in whatever gas is contained within those canisters they're dragging along. which, to be completely honest, does somewhat remind me of suicide via carbon monoxide poisoning. But that still doesn't answer any of my questions. I'm going to try and avoid using Excalibur for the time being. I was wondering if these are dead ends. I'm wondering now if they're actually safe spots to hide in. Like I stand in here and I wait for them to go by me again. I don't know what the danger from using Excalibur is, but I cannot imagine that under any circumstances whatsoever it's good. Okay, I haven't seen any more... Pillar of Sacrifice, I think. So by Pillar of Sacrifice you mean telegraph pole. Except I can't seem to interact with this one. Okay, that's a little odd. Never mind, I suppose we should keep moving then. This is very odd. I feel like this game is trying... It's trying very hard to do something, or to say something, or to show something. And as of yet, I'm not convinced that I know what it is. I'm hoping that it will become more clear as time goes by. However, I can make no promises about that. Okay, is this back where we... Yes, this is back here. Can I interact with this now? That's horrible. That's absolutely disgusting. Are these... I'm not going to be able to get past this guy, am I? Are those images supposed to represent random thoughts, intrusive thoughts, unwanted thoughts? Is that what these are supposed to represent? Because they're not nice at all. They're appearing at random places on the screen. I don't know, I'm not an expert on intrusive thoughts. I'm not the least experienced person in the universe with them, but I'm not an expert. Okay, so I can't go this way. The way that you're trying to look at things, and at the same time constantly attempting to not look at them whilst also looking through them, is relatively accurate in some manners. So that's certainly been done with a level of skill that I couldn't have pulled off myself. Okay, right, let me go back to the main computer, or at least what I assume is the main computer, and see if anything's changed. Have a couple of these lights come on? Ah, right, this was one of the ones I was supposed to interact with, but for some reason it just didn't work the first time. Okay, apart from the fact that this has had the same effect as using its... Ah, okay, no, it has. It was the third terminal. Okay, right, let me try and make my way back to the other terminal, the one that I found in the... Okay, that's the fourth. These images are getting even less pleasant somehow. I'm not quite sure how that's physically possible, but somehow they're managing to. Okay, that's where we went down. That's where we went down before to get access to the other computers. So presumably, if we go this way, we should find ourselves the final computer. I doubt that the whole activation of computer thing has any real symbolism. I would imagine that it's more just a task in order to give you something to do while allowing the delivery of all the rest of the information, i.e. all of this unpleasantness. Okay. here I've been most places. Let me just check, make sure there's not one hiding around this corner. No, there isn't. Okay. They are just looping on a circuit there. Okay, let me go back this way and see what else I can find. This is not pleasant. Constantly seeing that there, constantly having Excalibur on the corner of my eye is not a lot of fun. And there's something about this noise, this incessant drone, and this very bleak art style, and I use that word particularly. I find it very... It's all kind of coming together in a surprisingly well-weaved way. All of these varying elements are somehow coming together in a way that I wasn't quite expecting. I would assume this is some form of an exit, only I can't activate it because I haven't found the fifth computer yet, wherever that is. Aha, the fifth computer. Oh! The exit has opened. Look to the funeral in the sky. Ah, even lovelier. Okay, look to the funeral in the sky. Well, I don't see a funeral going on in the sky. Ah, good. Glad to see romance isn't dead amongst whatever under the sun you are. They remind me slightly of the ghost people. If you ever played the Sierra Madre DLC, or the Dead Money DLC rather, of Fallout New Vegas, they remind me rather of that. I'm assuming it's that door that we saw previously. I doubt it's the way we came in. I would assume that it's the door that we saw earlier. What is in my throat, honestly? I tell you what the problem is when you've got this many of these images going on at the same time. They start to clutter up one part of the screen. So then your eye will naturally go to the part of the screen that's empty. But then the game will then use that part of the screen to put in another image. Hive. The Scolopendra are not staggered by your self-harm, tread lightly. Excuse me. So I'm assuming that's what these millipedes, centipedes, or whatever under the sun they are, peds, creatures are. I'm also not entirely sure what's gone on with my voice, so I apologise for the fact that I've suddenly become rather croaky and hoarse. This seems relatively straightforward. This seems like a lot less symbolism, but then again, I thought that about these creatures at first, so perhaps I'm wrong. Okay, I assume I'm going to have to do this in order to get past him, because I'm not waiting all the way. I'm trying to go around. I managed to get rid of all of them in one go. That's nice. Oh, these creatures are unpleasant. Highly unpleasant. Highly unpleasant. I do wonder, very often in games like this, they use the... Hello. They use the usage of creatures like that going down pathways in order to mimic blood flow or the flow of synapses. How far back is this going to put me? Don't put me back to the beginning, please. No, thank you. Okay, fine. So there's a possibility that that's what they represent, but at the same time I can't be sure of that. Okay, right, we're through that section at least, if nothing else. Admittedly, slightly worse for wear. Although from a purely technical perspective, well done on the animations for these things. They are thoroughly disturbing and unpleasant. Thoroughly disturbing and unpleasant. Now, are you guys circling all the way around? Yes, you are. Which means I don't really have a way through this other than the extremely unpleasant way that I really dislike doing. Okay. Okay, we're through another section. I think. I hope. I pray we're through another section. Ah, as if this nightmare couldn't get any worse. You have acquired Psychic Victory. What under the sun is this? And what is sepsis? Sounds like some sort of terrible disease from the back end of some swamp. You're no longer in possession of Excalibur. That I am grateful for. What I'm not so grateful for is this very loud noise. I apologise, it's probably blowing your eardrums out at the moment. The cowled perpetually wander, they only chase should they be alerted. Sorry about that. I thought you couldn't fall off the edges of the barriers. It transpires that in this location you can. So these only chase if they're startled. Sorry, I'm going to have to turn this music down. Right, there we are. That should be a little bit quieter for you. It's even starting to annoy me. Avoid the gaze of perambulators. They are warned the nearby cowled. You mean the baby head in a box? Is that what you're talking about? Or is it those things? So I just need to slip by these things without bumping into them, presumably, and without, I assume, walking directly in their path. Oh, it's you. You're the... Yes, you are. You're the preambulator, or whatever the son you were called. I can't even remember at this point. Okay, so these obviously represent hospital beds, and what I can assume are the corpses of individuals who have died in said hospital. From what cause, I dread to think. As in any normal game, if I saw bodies in a hospital, I'd think, oh, zombies, monsters, murderers, maimers. You know, all of these perfectly ordinary types of pain. From one mind to another, not this kind of self-inflicted pain, or whatever under the sun it is I'm looking at. Okay, what incentive do I have to go in there? Because I don't see that I have one. And until I do have one, I'm not going to bother putting myself at risk trying to get through this. I'm just going to assume this is a maze of... This sound design is very interesting. Ah, I see. I do have an incentive to go over there. There's a path. This sound is very, very odd. Okay, I managed to avoid him. I think I started on the cow though. No, I didn't. I managed to walk straight by him and he didn't even care. I suppose that's something to be grateful for. Whoa, 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 don't break again, don't break again. Yes, from a purely technical perspective, I would say this game is quite good, apart from the fact that the collision detection seems to cause slight problems, as we are seeing here. Bumping into walls seems to have some negative effects on the old camera. But otherwise, technically, so far, I have been impressed. Where am I going? Presumably all the way up to the top. Okay, now their line of sight is not broken by objects. Objects do not prevent their line of sight from proceeding. Ah, here we are. Okay. Yes, I think these floating coffins, these spinning coffins, well, outlines of coffins, I think they're representing progress markers, like waypoints that I should be aiming for. I have to turn this volume even lower at this point, because honestly that's doing my ears in. I imagine it is meant to obviously be part of the experience, but at the same time, you know, I have my limits. Okay. Is there anything down there? No. Okay. Let's climb the spine. Sadly, it's not a euphemism for something exciting one might do on a Friday night. It is instead the literal description of whatever insanity we are currently partaking in. I don't have a crouch, do I? No. I was wondering if I could slip under them, like some form of a laser tripwire. Though it doesn't actually seem like walking through them does anything. Oh wait, no it does. Yes, it slows me down and they seem to become... Whoa! Hi! Okay, that's the first time one of you guys has ever actually been interested in me. Okay. So some of the time I can walk through their sight and it doesn't matter, and other times I can't. Or possibly their detection programming does actually account for the barriers in the objects, but the aesthetics doesn't. Which is an oddity, I must say. If that were the case, it would make sense why there was one on each side. Oh, this is going to be tricky. How am I going to do this? Just let him go by like that. Yes, I think that is how it works. And then you have to slip behind here so that that guy doesn't see you. And then go through. Okay, yes, I think my theory about the how they detect you is actually correct. Oh sheesh, we're going down, we should be going back up again. I don't know how long this game is either. I don't know how many chapters there are, I don't know how many sections there are in each chapter. I don't know anything other than the fact that I would really like to not really be here, because this is really rather disturbing. Not just the gap detection as well. And sadly, I do not mean the clothing shop. Just I think it sells clothing. Do I look like a man who shops at Gap? I don't know. I don't even know what they sell. Okay, it would seem I can't get through any of these gaps. Oh, okay, so you can actually walk right into them and they don't care. It's only the men in the wheelchairs that can activate them. Ah, right. Through pure sheer force, I managed to force my way through that one. Okay, looks like we're coming to the end, and for that I am unbelievably grateful. Oh, if only I could entertain you with something riveting right now, like the names of all the vertebrae. Problem is, I don't know them. Not that I think that's going to surprise you. I don't even know if the vertebrae have names. Okay, so this double helix is evidently DNA, so perhaps this is representing the genetic side of disorders, genetic predisposition, possibly. Womb. Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if we were about to get birthed, that would not actually be the weirdest moment. Release the 3 beasts from their confines to exit the womb. I feel there's a message in there somewhere about something. I dread to think what it is, though. Okay, so what are the beasts, and why precisely am I trying to release them? Okay, so it would appear that they are blind. They can't see. They seem to move around using their hands in order to find out what's around them. Let's try going the other way, actually, as this is enemies I'm slightly more familiar with the combat of. For want of better terminology. Oh, come on, you didn't see me. I was hiding behind that block. Not that it matters, there's nobody here for them to activate. They don't activate these fumigators or whatever they're called. I find myself wondering, are these other characters here, do they represent... Aha, that looks like something that might be interesting. Do they represent other sufferers of whatever it is I'm suffering from? Uh-huh. Do they represent individuals who failed in whatever struggle it is I'm making? Or am I reading too much into this? Oh, what judicators will continue to pursue you once they are vexed? Oh, great, we're back to the whole intrusive thoughts thing again. Ah, right, so by the end of this I'm permanently going to have 3 individuals chasing me. Okay, this isn't quite what I was expecting, but never mind. Oh no, I got something in my eye. This isn't good. Okay, so now the bird lover in me is getting rather distressed, but never mind. Oh, great, you guys are back again. What? Is that thing still chasing me? Yes, it is, and I've just realised it's a man riding on another man, which is a disturbing image. Okay, these centipedes are a lot further away from each other than the last set were, and these... What? Oh, for goodness sake. Who saw me? There's not even anyone around here. Oh, it's you. You're going a million miles an hour, I see. What? Where am I? Presumably I'm trying to get back down there. Okay, and I do actually have to be concerned about alerting these folks. You by running by you is the answer to that question, my friend. By running. Yes, down there. My giddy aunt, there's an army of them. What? Oh, for goodness sake. I thought you could walk into them and it wouldn't harm you. What? Where are we? Oh, no. Right. Okay, give me a minute to rest my hoarse voice and I'll try and get past this bit. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on, we went up that way before. I'm wondering if we should have gone in there, because that looks like another medical machine, like the machine we used to release the first beast. Yes, here we are. Oh. That's charming. I'm just going to pretend they're giant mantises, again from Fallout New Vegas. Strange number of references we're making to that today. Just going to pretend that's what we're talking about, and that we're completely ignoring that thing. Which, again, speaking of Fallout, reminds me slightly of a centaur. They were called centaurs, right? I think they were. Okay, this is going to be rather difficult because I'm going to have to run very fast in order to get away from that guy, while at the same time not running so fast that I get caught by you guys. This is going to make things rather difficult. Okay, when you then die after releasing an animal, or a beast, or whatever they were called, it seems as if when you then respawn, the animal then doesn't. I'm also going to start moving around like this, so I don't have to look through that imagery at the top. Oh, and now we're down here, exactly where we're supposed to be? I'm not even quite sure where we are. Oh, there's another one of you down here. Okay, so this seems to be something of a combination of previous parts all coming together in a very unpleasant manner. I'm not convinced I understand how this helps me. Okay, where under the sun did you come from? You again. Good evening. Okay, I am highly confused. Highly confused as to where the third animal is and where under the sun I'm supposed to be going. Because of that, I'm actually going to go backwards. Aha. Okay, good. We found the third creature, but we're probably on the wrong side, aren't we? No, we're on the completely the perfect side. The exit has opened. Look to the funeral in the sky. Okay, that's suddenly become blocked off. What am I looking at? Oh, great. I'm stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. Okay, we're going to play a game of Ring Around the Rosie, it would seem, to quote someone or other that I've already forgotten the name of. What is that on the upper right? Oh, it's a sink. It's a sinkhole and somebody's presumably either vomiting or bleeding into it. That's lovely. And I'm afraid that one isn't very disturbing to me. I'm something of a veteran of the nosebleed, so you'll pardon me for not being particularly disturbed by that particular piece of imagery. Okay, where did I think I came in over there, didn't I? I think that's where I started from, so I need to get back. I think I saw a door right at the very beginning. Whether that's the right door or not, I don't know. What they mean by the funeral in the sky, I haven't a clue. Yes, this is where we met the first monster. I remember seeing him from up here on these stairs. Don't think it was that way though, but that way is now blocked, so it's going to have to be this way. Are those creatures still following them? Not that I can see, but that doesn't mean that they're not. Let's just avoid getting whatever it is that happens to us whenever we fail again. Oh, sheesh. Right, it can't be much further, surely. I've completely lost track of where we are, I haven't got a clue. No, now we're heading back down to another creature's place. Oh, this is... What? I am so confused. Where did I come from? Let me go back the way I came. I turned right at one point. I should probably turn left there. I think. Really was not the right day to play this game. Oh, great. Now I've got you on my tail again. Fantastic. Oh, I just can't win with you kids, can I? So, it would appear that instead of them not dying, rather than you respawning but them not respawning, it seems that instead that they were all still then active around the map. They just didn't relocate when you relocated. You relocated back to where they started. They, however, did not. Okay, let me try going this way and see what happens. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, fantastic. I mean, not because it means I have to suffer through more of this route. Oh, dear. Let's make another analogy, why don't we? Because we haven't made enough of those. Something else those beasts very much remind me of is some of the creatures in The Forest. If you've ever seen or played The Forest, which is a sneak peek, will eventually be coming to the channel at some point. Whenever my internet speeds up enough to the point where I can actually upload games that have decent visuals. we're not here to gripe about my internet or talk about the channel. I'm also realising we've been going 45 minutes so far. This game is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was advertised as being about 20 minutes long. Maybe it wouldn't be 20 minutes long if you're not quite as dense as I am. Well, we were talking about wombs, I suppose, so I suppose this was the natural, let's not look at that, what's occurring, what's slowly becoming visible. You have acquired hard code. If I knew anything about programming, I might know what under the sun you're talking about. Chapter 3, Scabs. Okay. And even with the reduced volume, that is loud. The deeps have obscured your vision, go carefully. Okay, if you insist. I'm gonna have to turn this volume even further down now. Right, okay. So I have very little vision, and I must tread carefully to figure out where I'm going. Okay, well the logical thing to do then would be to trace the walls. Trace the walls, and then eventually I must find some doorways that will hopefully lead me to wherever under the sun it is I'm going. Okay, we'll just keep our left hand against the wall and we'll just follow this until something happens. Until something impedes our progress. Okay, that's rather disturbing, walking down a pathway into a pit of darkness. Incubators can help guide your way. They will create apparitions when you are close. What am I looking at? Actually, do you know what? Don't answer that question, because frankly I think whatever possibilities my brain could currently be deciding upon could not possibly be. The reality is probably going to be worse. Okay, so this is obviously a scan. I can't remember what kind of scan this is. I can never remember what kind of scan this is. Pregnancy scan thing. I don't know what you call them. CAT scans. I don't know if that's what a CAT scan is. I used to know all the types of scans, but I don't anymore. My brain got full of other things like, I don't know, rent payments. I have to try and slip. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work in a million years. Okay, these cables must mean something, right? These cables must be leading me in the rough direction of my next objective. They must be trying to lead me away from the dead ends that you're supposed to run into while attempting to find the first incubator, and instead lead you towards what I would assume is the second incubator, as I assume they're going to act as some form of lamp posts or markers or something in order to represent progress towards whatever kind of exit I am attempting to find, and whatever journey I'm trying to come to the end of. I'm not asking. I don't want to know. I do not want to know. I'm just going to angle my camera up so I don't need to look at that. I'm just going to completely ignore that's there. Completely ignore it and think about something else. Something much happier and nicer, like bright sunshine and rainbows and kittens and puppies and bars of chocolate and that sort of thing. Okay. Oh, that must have been one of the apparitions it was talking about to lead me to it. I didn't even realise that. I thought that was another one of those gifts of horror that they were using in order to represent, well, what I would assume they're using to represent as intrusive thoughts. Okay. This cable's leading on a lot further than I thought it would, but I'm not sure which way I should now go. I suppose we'll just go one way and try. Just trial and error this until we find some sort of a door. Aha. Okay. Man, at least in the previous levels you were able to look around a little and see. Yes, I'm arachnophobic, and yes, I don't particularly like Venus flytraps either. Oh, this is getting somehow more disturbing every moment. Oh, dear. Okay, that's gone, which means I must have gone too far. I must have travelled away from it. So as much as I don't want to, I suppose I must try to walk in the direction that doesn't cause this thing to go away. What the? Oh, I must have been caught by one of the centipedes. See, it's gone again. It didn't seem like there was another way I could have gone. I don't know, I'll just keep wandering around. I'm not complaining about the fact that image has gone out of my mind now, so... Ooh, George. Sorry, sir, nearly walked into you. Did that on one of the first days of my... very first first job. I did that. Walked right into somebody in a doorway like an absolute moron. Why am I talking about this completely random, useless piece of information that you don't care about? Because frankly, I'd rather think about anything other than what's going on in front of me right now. I should quickly emphasize one little point. As much as I say that, I'm not saying that because I don't like the game. I'm saying that because the game is a disturbing experience, which is what it's aimed for. It's what it's supposed to be. It's meant to be disturbing. It's meant to be unpleasant. I don't know where they found these images, but my giddy aunt, don't tell me because I don't ever want to go there. Or maybe do tell me so that I know not to go there. I don't know. But... oh, jeez, how many of these things do I need? Yes, when I say that I'm not enjoying this, or I'd rather not think about this, it's because it's a disturbing experience that's wearing me down psychologically. Not because it's a bad game that I want to, you know, I'm not enjoying playing. I'm finding this a very fascinating experience. This is a very interesting way of doing things, and it's doing things in a much more subtle way. Oh, thank you. It's doing things in a much more subtle way than most games do. Most even of these more sort of sober games, as I seem to have taken to calling them, as I occasionally play. This one's taking a more subtle approach, this one's taking a more indirect approach. It's using a lot more symbolism, at least I assume it is, to try and give whatever its meaning is to whoever its intended audience is. But no, hopefully we will figure out what's going on, and we will... okay, that's not quite as bad, because that's just an octopus. However, as much as I have a fear of spiders, I also have a horrifying fear of deep-sea creatures. So this is somehow even less pleasant in its own way. Okay. It's strange. I don't think. Okay, since when were they across? When were different ones going across? Since when did that start being a thing that I needed to bother about? Okay, this is whatever this is. This is most unpleasant. See, the mechanics of these centipedes doesn't quite make sense to me, because I'm quite often getting caught by them, in the sense that I'm sort of walking through them and walking over them and walking past them, and yet I'm not getting caught by them as I would have assumed that I would have been. But never mind, that doesn't matter. Oh, for goodness sake. I get the distinct impression, however, it was taking me on a great big unnecessary loop. So my theory is that if I can stay awake long enough, I might actually be able to get through this. Assuming my voice doesn't give out. Yes, I was completely correct. You just go left and then you go straight ahead and you just keep waiting. Okay, please tell me that's the end of this section. Please don't make me go through any more of this. Okay, this has got to be the end, right? Yes or no? Okay, there's more bars. Okay, another machine, much like before, but I can't seem to... Oh no, I did interact with this one! Okay, okay, so we're taking the bars down, and there is yet another monster chasing us. Is that the door I came in by? I think it is. In which case, that's the last door I want to go out of. Mind you, there don't seem to be many other alternatives hanging around in this location. Oh, this seems promising. Somewhat, anyway. Oh, great, we're heading towards another one of these things. And now we've gone into cockroaches, it would seem. At least I think that's what that is. Okay. Oh, sheesh. I just had to mention you, didn't I? I just had to say something about I hope that great big creature isn't following me anymore. Just had to say that and ruin everything. Kitty art. It's interesting, this art style, at least I assume it's the art style, is surprisingly taxing on the eyes. I mean, I have been playing for an hour now, but still, I wouldn't expect my eyes to be feeling this heavy. Mind you, I didn't get much sleep last night, so possibly that is a contributing factor. But possibly this art style has also been rather sharply designed in order to tax you physically as well as mentally, as what I would assume that this game's message is about psychological instability, for the sake of using a broad term there, without using the obvious one. So I would assume that the point of the art style is to tax you physically to mimic the way that you are also taxed physically by mental problems. And now in a section called Coil. Okay, I'm beginning to understand why, at least I think I am. What is that? And please tell me it's not a dead body, which is what I think it is. Mind you, we've already walked past about 50 of those in this game so far, so to be honest with you, that would probably be the most innocuous thing that strange mass could possibly be. Unless, of course, it's a number of much smaller corpses. No, it's just an ordinary one. For that I am grateful. Jump? With what? Q and space don't do anything, so I would assume he means just jump off the cliff. Oh, sorry, my eyes have gotten rather accustomed to just the darkness. Right, okay, I just took a moment's break to rest myself. Okay, I can't go this way. It won't let me go that way, so I can only assume that I must go this way. State the absolute obvious, I see we've taken a complete 180 on the art style. I can only assume that's meant to represent a change in environment. Are we returning to the same house that we left at the very beginning of the game? Home. Well, that's what it called, the house, when we started up the game the very first time. It did describe that area as home, so possibly we are indeed returning home. Okay, I'm not entirely convinced that's any better. I was wondering if the pictures would have been fixed. It would seem, however, that they have somehow managed to get it worse. Let's head back downstairs. Presumably return to what I can assume is my bedroom. Strange noises. Okay, as much as this was the starting point, this does not appear to be the ending point. Well, we found something in here previously. Are we going to find it again? Yes, we are. You have acquired Excalibur. That's charming. I see the maggots back on the television. Oh. Okay, am I supposed to fall down here? I can only assume that I am. Is that the end of the game? Not quite the end of the game. Oh, great. It's not the end of the game at all. Okay, so once more we plunge ourselves into the darkness, holding this most unpleasant device as we attempt to figure out what under the sun is going on. Hello. Yes, I had a funny feeling that would be the goal of this. You have acquired empty. Chapter 1 Sutures. Okay, well, there are the credits. This was I thought the ending would answer questions. It would appear instead to have raised even more. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to try and make any understanding of what this is. I don't know if this game is supposed to be writing some sort of a message about mental health or not, or whether it's purely focused on the battle against self-harm or not. I don't know. I'm not going to try and understand what any of that is. I'm not going to try and understand what any of this imagery means. I don't know what the centipedes represent. I don't know what the watchers represent. I don't know what the cowled represent. I don't know what any of it represents. I'm going to leave that up to you to make your own decisions about what this game is, what it means. I have absolutely no understanding whatsoever. All I can say is that from a technical perspective, it's quite impressive. The art style is done very well, the pacing is good, and the level design itself is pretty decent. The only two technical points that I would make is, at the beginning, obviously, I had the problem of certain bumping into walls caused the camera to go a bit mad, and also the watchers, if you were standing on the far side of an object like a pillar, they wouldn't be able to see you. However, you could still see the sort of the laser sight, for want of a better term, of their vision showing you where it was. So if that could cut out when it's going by a thing, that would be lovely, but you know, that's just a tiny problem with what is overall technically a very excellent game. In terms of the story, in terms of the meaning, I don't know. Usually I do go off on a little bit about here, but I'm not going to do that today. I don't really understand what it even means. Most of it I think has gone over my head, and the rest of it I think is perhaps a little bit out of my area of expertise with the varying problems that people go through in their lives. And so I shall leave that up to you to decide what you think about all of this. So thank you for joining me this evening for this interesting experience. I hope that you have found it interesting. Look after each other, and good night.